ever described it to, in the simplest way anybody has ever described it to you. So all you just need to do is think what about if you just need to listen through, and I'm sure that you have a great time here. You'll be able to learn a thing or two, and I'm sure you'll be enthusiastic about the next class. Okay, good. So before I go into what I have, I'll just just like us to introduce ourselves. I just want to get to know you guys by name. Just though videos are not enabled, I can't see your pictures or faces, but then I want to match the names with the voices so that as we do the subsequent classes, I can connect with you guys. Okay, so I don't know. I like us to unmute one after the other. Let's just try to introduce ourselves. I introduce myself now. Maybe I should do that again. My name is Ayobami. I'm data analytics instructor at IET Skill Center. So, but then when you are introducing yourself, I would like you to also mention, I don't know, if you have any experiences or you are just starting out with data analysis. So thank you. So we can unmute and speak now.
Hi, Ayobami. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is Haruna Boniface. I didn't have any experience in data analysis yet, but I work as a reconciliation officer, so it will help me a lot.
Okay. So you're welcome, Haruna. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And sir. I don't know, do you have any expectations concerning these classes, foundational classes?
The expectation is always making my work easier in this diversity of every data. At least to enable me to work smart, instead of spending an hours on something I can spend just 10 minutes to conclude.
Okay, good. So you basically want to learn this so that you can optimize the way you do your things, make it faster, right?
Yes.
So exactly. I got you. So the other guys, I'm hoping to hear from you. Ibrahim. Then this 090, please let's pick up. I just want to get to doors, right?
Good evening. My name is Ibrahim Mayowa, speaking from Lagos. Actually, I am a graduate of economics where I learn. I have a little bit of experience in data, especially Tableau and some skills. But I'm trying to have more experience, to gain more first-hand experience, like be able to interpret more data and also data presentation like visualization. Because I'll be pursuing my master degree in I think business analytics, where I will be needing more of data skills. So that is why I registered for the course.
Okay, so it's nice to meet you, Ibrahim. Like I said earlier, my name is Ibrahim. So data analysis is my job. It's what I do, and it's what I've been doing for so long. So that's good. I'm glad that you want to pursue a degree in business analytics. Yes, business analytics is just an arm of our work, is a part of our work, And yeah, is a good place to be. I believe that you'd get that solid foundation, to be able to leap and grab every other thing you want to grab from here. So you're welcome once again. I'm glad to have you on board, right? So for sorry, this number 09039. Are you there?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Adifabi Blessing. I'm a graduate of computer engineering from the Polytechnic of Ibadan. Okay, so I'm interested in joining the data analysis class because I want to know more about the data analysis, because I like that's the only aspect of tech that I feel like I can feel in due to background knowledge in mathematics and all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. If I heard your name right, Blessing, right?
Yes. Blessing.
So Blessing, you're welcome. I'm glad to have you. I think you really like this math thing, Ali.
Yes.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I'm glad to have you on board, Blessing. I also have a degree in engineering, so I have that's this thing. But then, our job is to break data analysis down to as as simple as it can be. Yeah, even those that don't have a strong background in mathematics don't have any problem
To understand.
doing everything they need to do, right? To make it as simple as can be.
Okay.
So you're welcome. And many people say it is those people that don't want to. There's those people that don't want to code in tech that run to data analysis. I don't know if you guys actually share that belief. I don't know, but then when we get to the bridge, right? We'll cross it.
Okay.
Let's just leave it at that for now. Okay, right. We are 20 minutes into our time for the lecture, so I don't want to take much of our time. So let me I'll share my slide down, so I believe we'll be able to follow along, and I'll speak to my slides. So just give me a minute. Let me bring my slide up. Thank you. Hello, guys. I don't know if I'm sharing my screen now. I don't know if we can see from. Just let me know if you can see what I'm projecting.
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay.
I can see your screen. Sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm that. Thank you. This is just to let me gather my thoughts as I speak. So today we are going to be looking at intro to data analytics. I said today's intro. So it's like just laying the foundation for everything we would learn afterwards. When we talk about data analytics, what are we talking about? So we'll be looking at that today. I'll just run through this so to give us an idea of what is happening when people talk about data analytics. When they talk about data analytics, they talk about data analysis, they talk about some other concepts that follow it. We understand what they're talking about, and we can be able to contribute in those kind of discussions. So that is why I'm bringing us here. I'm not going to be spending all the time here. I'm just going to be running through, but then I believe that when I'm done, I would have done justice to what we have here. Okay, so when we talk about data analytics, right? It's a very it's a process. It has many stages, and today many people say, I want to learn data analysis, I want to learn data analysis, I want to learn data analysis. Yeah, data analysis is good, but then it's a part of a process. It's not everything. It's just a part of a complete process, called data analytics. So when we talk about data analytics, what do we mean? What do we mean when we say data analytics? Data analytics, refers to process of examining data sets to draw conclusions about the information they contain. Okay. Data analysis refers to the process of examining data sets to draw conclusions. It means that our job in data analytics is to I call us detective, to sit down and detect what other people will not be able to find naturally, or what other people are not ready to find. Coming into data analysis, I'm still a person that is very much introverted though. So many times I like to sit by myself and I like to read between the lines. When I have conversations with people, I have discussions with people, I do all of those things. I still get the time where I just go and sit to myself. I just analyze everything, the tone the person spoke, and when the timing, everything like that, just trying to analyze everything that happened, trying to get the full understanding of what has happened. So data analytics is the same way, sitting down with data sets. You are torturing data and you are trying to draw conclusions, trying to get informations from it. You are trying to get facts from it. You are trying to get conclusions that will help you to make decisions. That's it. That's data analytics itself. You have data, you are bringing it, then you are looking into that data, you are using analysis, you are working on it, doing so many things, then getting conclusions out of it, and using that conclusion you are getting out of it to drive change. I used to say, many people say they are doing data analytics. They are not. They are just analyzing people's data. Data analytics is beyond that, actually. Data analytics is that you are looking at a problem, you are collecting data concerning that problem, you are bringing the data to clean the data, bringing the data to analyze the cleaned data. You are drawing conclusions from that. You are doing presentations on that. You are making conclusions on that. And you are giving regulations based on everything you found out. Your process of data analytics is not complete if a problem has not been solved, and if people are not living by or are not using the knowledge you claim to have extracted from the data. So it's a very long process. It is in that process that we have data analysis itself. When people say data analysis, it is in between that process that we have data analysis. So before we say more on data analytics, we have to look at what data is itself. Although I have another slide where I'll be looking at that, but then just to teach us, just to mention that to us before, while we're on this. When we were in school, they used to say data are raw facts, they are raw figures. They don't have a meaning in themselves. It means it's just compilations of events. I would say, events just happen, and you get data. There was a time you woke up this morning, there was a time you ate, there was a time you did every other event that you did today. So all those things, they are data. You are collecting time data, you are collecting date data, you are collecting so many data. But then when you bring the data together, you accumulate them. Now they begin to speak. There's a particular example I used to use for my students. I say, if I were to visit a friend and he slept, the first day I go to his house, he slept at a particular time and he woke up at another time on the next day. I have recorded that event. I noted when he slept and I noted when he woke up the next day. I've collected data regarding that. But then I cannot do so much with that unless maybe I'm with him for a month, I'm with him for 2 months, I'm with him for 3 months, and I keep collecting that data. Now it's much more. Now it has accumulated. I can make more substantial decisions based on that data. I can draw more information from that data because now I have the data over a longer time. And it is easy for me maybe to predict a sleeping behavior It is easy for me to predict if he has a sleeping disorder. It's easy for me to predict so many other things because I have recorded events over time. So data in themselves don't really do a lot. But then when you gather them, you pull them together, and you match them, you keep brooding on it, then you can get information out of it. There's another example I use for my students often. I say when you pick up a novel, just go to the first page and you pick a word, you pick another word, you pick another word. All you are doing is picking data. That does not necessarily tell you everything that happens in the novel. But then when you pick words upon words upon words upon words upon words and you read them in the right order, then you are getting an idea of what's happening in the novel. You are getting an idea of the story that the guy who wrote the book is trying to tell. When you finish now, somebody can come to you and say, oh yeah, summarize this novel for me. And you'll be able to sit down and say, okay, it talks about this, this is the thing behind it, and like that. That way you've pulled data upon data upon data and extracted information from it. So that information you've extracted from that novel now, you can use it to pattern the way you'd live your life. Maybe from that novel now, from all the information you get from it, is just discover that it is bad to love women, for instance. That's an example. I'm not saying it's bad. Now say it is bad to love women, and you now pattern your life based on that decision that I will not love women. I will keep myself away. You see now, you've gotten information and you are using that information to drive a change. You are using that information to drive how you live your life. That's just a similitude of everything we do in data analysis. So if you are still here with me, I would just like us to say hi, so I can know we are still here and we're following, right?
Hi.
Okay, good. Good. So data can be used to analyze several aspects of our processes. We can use data to find the biggest problems to focus on, diagnose current process, investigate the effect of improvement. Yes, this works everywhere. This works all around in all fields of data analytics, right? But then the gentleman that told us about his plans to study business analytics, yeah, it finds meaning in business analytics too. People come to you, business owners that care so much about what they do. They care so much about the business they have, and they employ you for a reason. The reason why they are bringing you to the organization is they are not bringing you to run them down. They are bringing you so that the business can times 3, times 4, times 5, and like that they can make more profit, right? So when you collect data regarding people's businesses, regarding the people's processes, regarding how people do their stuff, you can be able to find the biggest problem to focus on. It might be that they are not even focusing on the right thing they should be focusing on. You can use data to help them shift that, and tell them this is what you should be focusing on. You're actually focusing on the wrong thing. One thing I've discovered in this Nigeria is that many people do businesses and they are just doing it so that they can be busy. In their head, they think they are making profit, but they are really not. They are doing everything. They are working so hard. They set this ones up. They set this up. They set that up. In the end, you realize that if they are making profit, the margin is very small. They are really making little or nothing. But then they don't have a way to track these things. They don't have a way to look into these things. They don't have a way to analyze these things. So they don't even know if they are making profit or not. They don't even know what belongs to the business, what does not belong to the business. They don't know everything that is happening. They just know that, okay, I'm waking up, I'm going to the store, and I sell. Another one is to diagnose the current process. Data analytics help you to diagnose the process you are currently working with, to help you to know, this process I'm using, is it the best? Is there a better way of doing it? And it helps you to investigate the effect of improvement. When you make improvement in how you do your stuff, you make improvements in how you run your company, you make improvements in how you do everything you do. you can see the effect of it. You know, I was saying one day that we are the next big thing in this tech world. Why? It's not like I'm trying to flat out. It's not like because I'm a data analyst. You know, data analysis is just everywhere. Anywhere you can think of, events happen everywhere in sports. Events happen in health. Events happen in everywhere. Health people die. Sports matches are played. Different things happen. Business, that one is even another level. Transportation, data is collected. Nowhere. So every second people are collecting data. So you know they say data is new oil now. So we are the oil guys of the next generation. So data is very, very important, very instrumental to making your business better, to making anything you're doing at all to make it better. So benefits of data analytics, it helps you to make improved decisions. Yes. Because when you find out by data analysis that this thing you are doing is not the best, stop it. Then you find out that it is this one that is working for you. You put your energy there. So you are not just making decisions out of order. You are not just making decisions because I feel like it today. Tomorrow, what if you don't feel like it? You are making decisions because you have facts. More effective marketing helps you, tells you how to channel your energy, where to put your marketing strength, the kind of customers you have, the kind of people that patronize you, and it helps you to be able to channel your energy, to face those people. So in the end, you are not just wasting your energy. You are not jack of all trade. And master of all. I'm a master of none. So better customer services helps you to know how best to work with your customer to serve them better, so that the thriving of your business depends on your customers, what they think about you. So that's why you see Uber, that's why you see Bolt, that's why you see Glovo. They are looking for analysts because they give forms where people can fill their data in. How was your ride? How would you rate this? How would you rate that? What's this? What's that? They want to make your next ride better than the last one. And they collect all those data, not just for fun's sake. So they can bring an analyst to work on it and, give them ideas on how they can better their processes, how they can better attend to their customers, how they can get their customers loving them the more. Then more efficient operations. Your work, you find them to be more efficient. You don't waste resources. You don't waste funds. Okay. So when we look at data analytics, there's a process to it. We don't just get things done in no particular order. There's a process to it, and there's another to it, right? So, like I always say, solving people's problem is the biggest thing in this world. You have to get people's problems solved if you want to get paid and if you want to eat, right? So every analytic journey you want to embark on, I don't know, maybe if you are doing something for fun, but if you're not, you should be every time you should be open to solve people's problem. So when you know people's problem, you are fully to articulate the problem. You know what's causing the problem. You know when the problem occurs. You know the people that are affected by the problems. You know how are they affected by the problem. You know when. You know why. You know so many things like that. You have fully articulated the problem. When you've done that, then you can think of, how you can collect data concerning the problem. You don't know the kind of data to collect if you don't know the problem you want to solve, right? And you have to solve people's most pressing problems to even get noticed, right? So you collect data concerning the problem you want to solve. You don't want to solve a problem in sports. You're collecting weather, maybe, I don't know, maybe weather data. Yeah, weather can work at times. I think weather affects. But then you get what I'm trying to say. You don't try to collect data that are not related. It doesn't help you. In the end, just collecting redundant. So you want to collect what you need so that you don't have to stay so long doing what is not supposed to be. So we collect data after knowing the problem. We collect the data concerning the problem. Every inch of data that we can get that is available to us. The more data you have, the more close to the more accuracy you can get, in the analysis, if you do the right thing. So, because as a matter of fact, knowing the kind of problem that the people you want to solve out that you want to solve for the people tells you how to be able to collect the data. If you are dealing with rural people, you know how to address data collection. If you are dealing with tech savvy people, you know how to address data collection. If you are dealing with aged people, you know how to address data collection. You know the means to use to collect your data, right? After that, we talk about cleaning data. Sure. We talk about cleaning data. You know, when you collect data, it's only in the virtual world that you see data, and it's just the data is just naturally born again. It's not like that when you work in real life. The data is not naturally born again. You have to make it born again. So you have to, get rid of things that would hinder you, things that are out of place, people's mistakes, people's errors, things that are not supposed to be, things that are inconsistencies. You have to get rid of those, right? That's the process of cleaning the data. It's just, scrubbing, getting rid of anything that is impure, getting rid of anything that should not be, right? You clean the data. Then we come to analyzing data. Now, you don't analyze on clean data. You don't just collect data raw and just start analyzing. In fact, we don't really deal with a lot of the troubles. Data engineers deal with a lot of the troubles, but then still have to go a long way to clean our data before we analyze. Because analyzing on clean data is just sending letter to trouble. Because you just be giving yourself unnecessary headaches. All right. So when we are done with that, we can analyze data. This is the point where people call data analysis. We call it EDA, exploratory data analysis. So you do exploratory analysis. You explore your data. You do some analysis to show the trends you found, to show some patterns you found, and all of those. After doing that, then we go ahead to visualize what we found. So I used to say the best way to communicate things to people is to make them see with their own eyes, make them see pictures and all of those. And that's why children's book always have so many colors, have so many visual aids and all of those. It's the same thing with data analysis. You want to grab people's attention. But some people I know just get addicted by seeing numbers. Some people I know don't like numbers. Like, I think Blessing is the guy that like the numbers, Abby. Yeah. So many people don't like numbers as much. So they prefer to see a bar chart where they can see that Audu is greater than Usman. Where they can see that Adekunle is greater than maybe Ade something else, right? They can easily relate with that. When they see a pie chart, they know that okay, this side of the pie is bigger than this one. But then they can't really process a lot of numbers when they see numbers. So that's why we use all these visualizations. It's not just like we like showing off, but then we want people to see and grab it. That's our job. Our job is not fulfilled until people see it and they just at the instant they see it, they know what's happening. When it's election time, INEC just come without their chart. They don't use something so difficult. They are spider charts, they are spider webs and all of those. They don't use all those ones. They just use maybe a bar chart. They use a pie chart to show APC, to show PDP, to show Labour Party. Because their concern is you understanding what they are showing, not just displaying colors and displaying ambiguous figures and all of those. That's really the point, that the people can see and they can understand. So we look at why data insight is important. We talked about some of that already when we looked at the advantages of using data analysis. Yeah, we looked at how it helps you to drive tangible actions, how it helps you to make better decisions, how it will help you to optimize your processes and do all of that. So then we look at how to turn data into actionable insights. You have to measure the right things. That was where I was talking about the fact that you need to know the problem you want to tackle, and you need to measure the right things. You don't want to maybe deal with temperatures, maybe temperature in babies and baby temperatures, all of those, and you are measuring, I don't know, something else. You have to measure things that go hand in hand, right? You have to measure things that go hand in hand. Look at all of this. You have to ask the right questions at every point in time. You have to ask the right questions. Always have to learn. You have to learn to always ask the right questions. You don't know everything at times. At times, you are analyzing data from a different field than yours. I said the other time that my own background is in engineering. Then I've worked with some data that are not necessarily engineering like. You get, and another person that is in maybe the arts, maybe they now decided to pick a career as a data analyst later and come and maybe analyze data from, I don't know, maybe a mechanical company that produces cars, where you see all those things like pistons, piston size, and all of those. And the person might not necessarily understand it. The person has to now do a lot of study into that field to know what he or she is dealing with, right? Then ask the right questions to stakeholders. The person has to be open to asking questions. I don't know this. What does it mean? I don't know that. What does that mean? You have to be able to use segmentation to break data down. Use clear visualizations to convey information. Yeah, you have to be able to use clear visualizations. It's not about this graph looks somehow. It's about is it clearly saying something to you? Is it clearly saying something to? If it's not clearly saying something to you, then it's better not to put it out. Don't go and confuse people the more. Just leave their head like that. Don't be the source of their headache. Right. So all of this. Then we look at okay. I think these two slides are about the same. We look at data analytics, data science, and data engineering. Three different things. We're looking at data analytics, data science, data engineering. These people, family members. We have data analysts, we have data scientists, we have data engineers, and some others. There are a lot of them, and many other ones boarding now. Right? Even the business analyst people are saying, "Yeah, I'm not data analyst. I'm a business analyst." Okay, they are still data analysts. Okay, so data analysis. We talk about data analytics already. We talked about what it is: cleaning, transforming, modeling, doing a lot of things on data. To the end that you're solving people's problem, right? With data science is a tad above data analytics. Why do I say that? Because whereas a data analyst will stop at the point of, just visualizing data and communicating findings, giving tips on how people should do what they should do, when they should do, why they should do, and how they should do. A data science builds model. Data scientists are known to work with large amounts of data. You see ChatGPT, you see all of those. Their bedrock is data. Data scientists build those models, those large language models, and all of those. Data scientists build them. So they, aside the fact that they analyze and solve your problem, they build a standalone model that can best fit data for the future use, that can best predict, that can, based on every information it has from the past, it can predict what would happen in the future. So data scientists build those models like that. Then we have data engineering, data engineers. Yeah, they design, it's the practice of designing, building systems for collecting, storing, analyzing data. So that's why I said these guys deal with raw data. So what they do is they build systems for collecting, they have to store in all those data that are coming in full-fledged. So your own work as a data analyst in an optimal environment is just go pick data, just go query databases to get your data out, analyze your data. That's your job in an optimal environment, like I said. So in some cases, it might be different. You might need to be the one giving out questionnaires, doing all of those things. But then it is as it is. Yeah. So we have data roles. I talked about data analyst. So this is the business intelligence analyst that Blessing was talking about, right? That was Blessing. Business intelligence analyst, BI analyst. They call themselves BI analyst. So it's just a part of data analyst that decides to focus on businesses, providing real-time insights for various stakeholders in business. So I talked about data science and data scientists earlier. They build predictive models. We have data engineers. They design and maintain data infrastructures and databases. So those databases are housing your data that you are going as a data analyst to get your data from, right? Data engineers build them. They maintain them. They design them, right? So we have data architects too. Yeah, they design the data architecture, they maintain data architecture of the organization, and they design the flow, how data moves from so place to so place to so place to so place. That's part of their job. So then we look at the types of data analytics. They have descriptive analytics. I'm rushing through all of this, so we can spend much more time to read on these things. Descriptive analysis, talking about what is happening. Diagnostic, why is it happening? Predictive analytics, what is likely to happen? We want to predict what will happen. This way we are going in the next 5 years. Are we going to be in existence at all? What would happen? We'll talk about prescriptive analytics. What should we do? It's important that you know what is happening. It is important that you know why it is happening. It is important that you know what is likely to happen. But most important, that you know what they should do. You can't just come and itemize all the problems. You have this, you have this, you have headache, you have diarrhea, you have stomachache, you have this. After the everything, what should we do? Say, I don't know. They'll beat you. So she'll be able to give us prescriptions on what we should do. So then we look at some of the tools for generating insight. What are some of the tools we use to generate insight on the beginner's level? Look at some tools, not just tools here, tools and some methods, right? So on the beginners level, we look at things like spreadsheet packages, Microsoft Excel, Google, the Google Contemporary, Google Sheets. Look at all of those. Look at forms, data forms, and the rest of them for collection of data. Yeah, people use spreadsheet packages to collect data too. I believe most of us maybe that dealt with data. I dealt with a lot of data when I was doing my final year project then. I think that was even part of what opened my eyes to data analytics. So many of those data I collected them in Excel sheets and so on. So they can be used for data collection and ingestion. We have tools for analysis like Excel, Google Sheets on the beginners level. For more intermediate level, we have Excel, still Excel, but then Excel Power Query. And we can look at SQL. SQL is structured query language. So we have that. This is for querying databases. I talked about databases earlier. So you're always dealing with databases, right? And you're talking about Facebook. People go there and put data. People go there and generate data in MP4, in MP3, in JPEG, in GIFs, in all of those. All of those are data. So some people deal with them using SQL or NoSQL databases. Then we look at Microsoft Access, not so popular, but then still to look at some other ones on the analysis and visualization column. Look at Excel, still Google Sheets, Tableau, Power BI. So now these are business intelligence app coming in. Power BI and Tableau, they are used extensively for visualizations. Then we have on the advanced level, we have using API connectors. So now we're connecting databases to we are programming, we are doing using techniques like web scraping, we are doing database management and all of those, data lake management. We are doing what we call Python programming. We are doing what we call Python programming, R programming. Those are two contemporaries, just like Milo and Bonvita. Python programming, R programming. We are doing some advanced analytics. We are doing machine learning, probably. We are doing regressions, different kind of regressions, and all of those. So there's really a lot, and it's quite interesting. So we are doing all of those on the very advanced part of analysis. And as you can see, when we begin to enter machine learning, we are we're already moving into data science too. So, like I said, where a data analyst stops, a data scientist picks up from there. So we can look at MS Excel. Like I talked about the softwares. So some of the softwares and the advantages of the spreadsheets, MS Excel. I said about it. I won't be reading this one by one. There are things we can just notice. I just pick some points out, talk about them. So it's a spreadsheet package. It has so many formulas you can use for analysis. Some of us have been using Excel before now, so it's not a really new thing. So many functions there, sums, averages, all of them. So we have other techniques we use there, like pivot tables, graphs and charts, different kind of graphs, to maps, to heat maps, to many of these things are present in Microsoft Excel, to conditional formattings and all of those. And we also have some extra things that maybe a lot of people don't know, but then we have some other solver and analysis tool packs in Excel that can be used for extensive analysis, descriptive statistics, regression, and all of those. We have those in Excel. So then we have the strengths and weaknesses. The strength is easy to use, widely used. It has strong data visualization capability. But on the weakness side, it's limited in handling very large data sets, right? So I got one of my students that was trying to get into Glovo recently as a data analyst. So what we were really concerned about him knowing was, Python programming. That's because in those kind of places where they deal with huge data set, large chunks of data set, they want you to be able to use programming tools, because now Excel has what do they call it? Has limits, and if you are working above that limit, you wouldn't expect them to fit themselves into Excel, because that's what you know how to use. So then we look at SQL, structured query language. Very, very important. Very important. Very important for all analysts, especially if you're planning to work, maybe outside the shores of this country. You have to be really good with working with databases. Yeah, have to really be good with working with databases, querying databases, manipulating databases, getting things, finding your way around databases, right? Doing all of those stuff. You have to really be good, right? So that's its own strength too. Working with SQL, it can integrate with so many other tools. You can handle very large and complex data sets, handling large data set, forming complex queries. So if Excel can't handle the level of data set you're dealing with, not to worry, SQL will be able to handle that. So you have capability to work with larger sets of data with SQL. And some of the weaknesses that it's primarily for querying and managing structured data. You can't use SQL for analysis. You can't use SQL for visualizations, right? Like you would use Excel for visualization. SQL is not permitted for you to do that. What you do is query databases, right? So, for instance, INEC should have a database that will contain elections in this country since inception till this time. They should be keeping that. So, if we need any record concerning anything, we should be able to go to that database anytime, any point, because it has that more thought is put into it, as security, as you have level of security. You can implement security on different layers in SQL. So it's really that more bogus, and every really standard company tends towards using SQL, to order the way they do their things, to order their stuff, right? So that's on SQL. Then we have the BI tools. We have Microsoft Power BI on this side. We have Tableau on the other side. So I'm really going to be combining them because they are about the same thing, just competitors. And so it's just like Milo and Bonfita. They are majorly like both of them drink with bread, right? But then just little differences. So they are extensively built for visualizations. They call them BI apps. So they are business intelligence, give you different kind of charts, and they integrate with a wide range of data sources. Talk about it. They integrate with Excel, they integrate with SQL, they integrate with Azure, they integrate with so many things. If you begin to open those apps, you would begin to see so many other softwares they can integrate with. So they are really nice. They are easy to use too. They have drag and drop interfaces. You can easily go there and create dashboards. So I'm sure you guys have been looking up on LinkedIn, looking up on what's the name of these sites. Many of them. I've been seeing a lot of beautiful dashboards, movie database, employee database, sales and profit and trading, profit and loss. You've been seeing different kind of stuff. So all those dashboards, many of them build them using BI apps, right? Because of the interactivity. They are really, really interactive. It's just like you're working with, you're clicking and the dashboard is interacting with you. You're interacting with it. It's interacting with you. So we have all of those. And they have the fact that your work can be put on it can be put in a link, put on a cloud and put in a link where people can just use the link to have access to your work and be able to interact with it. Microsoft Power BI in particular, I think, has a mobile version where people can view your dashboards on their phone. So it's mobile friendly and they can on the go can collaborate with other people and do all of those stuff. So some of the strengths is that BI apps. So I'm talking about Tableau and Power BI together now. They are friendly, they're excellent for creating interactive dashboards. Yeah. When I talk about dashboard, I'm talking about, that stuff you see people presenting where they have like the main things about the data, the KPIs, the profit margin, all of those, the targets, all of those things that people display. So, and if you don't really know about dashboards before now, you can, after this class, just click on Google, check dashboards, data analytics dashboards. What do they look like? What do they mean? So you see all of that. So yeah, organizations use BI apps, Microsoft Power BI and Tableau. In fact, I think Power BI, you have to register with an organization. So most organizations that either registered Power BI users or they use Tableau, so you can work with other people, other analysts in the company, can share insights across the organizations. Some of the weaknesses that it is less customizable. It's a company that owns it. You can only suggest if they want, unlike the other counterparts that will be seen in programming languages, where people can build they can build something like plugins. Let me call them plugins. They are not plugins, but then I'll call them plugins for now so that you guys can understand what I mean. I'll call them plugins. We call them libraries, but then let's take them as plugins. So that's on Microsoft Power BI. Then Tableau. So like I said, Power BI and Tableau are basically like competitions. So the same things apply for both of them in most cases. So then I'll come to Python. I'll talk about Python. That's like, on the advanced level. Maybe some people that are into data analysis don't even want to get themselves involved with Python. But then it's a good thing to learn. It opens more doors of possibilities to you. And you might be looking to become a data scientist in the future. You might be looking to build maybe ChatGPT Nigeria, looking to do some of those really, really nice and cool things. So Python is really good for you if you are looking to go really far, work with big brands. Yeah, you should be able to have knowledge of analyzing data with Python or R. So it has a lot of libraries for data manipulation, numeric analysis, and visualizations. So many of them. Python has as many libraries as you. I was telling my students today that if you start picking a library a day, I don't think throughout the year, I don't think you finish all the library that Python has. A lot of libraries that can be used for so many things. Think about it. Used for so many things. So it integrates with other tools too and platforms, right? Databases. You can use your SQL that I talked about earlier. You can use it in Python environment. You can do all of those. You can mix them together. Just walk around. So there is a strong support for scripting and automation. So yeah, Python has a large community. People consistently build. It's just like, the difference between Windows and Linux, right? One is built by the company and the company is just in charge, and another one you can build, and other people can come up with their own improvements and stuff like that. So that's just how it is. There's really no limitations to all you can do with programming languages. Really no limitations. Some of the strengths is versatile and powerful for a wide range of data analysis tasks. Great for machine learning and data manipulation. Has a strong community. I talked about this. You see 60 years old men, 50 years old men, maybe 70 years old men, are Python developers, and they love it. They are willing to offer you assistance anytime you get stuck. They've posted threads of problems and answers online for you. So many of those, because there's a very strong community. They are always available to help. So it is easy to integrate with other data sources and systems. Yeah, it's really easy to integrate. As a matter of fact, recently I think Microsoft integrated Python into Excel. And I've been seeing many people going away saying, "Oh, I can use Python in Excel now. I can do this, I can do that." Yeah, so it integrates with almost everything. Then on the weaknesses part, many people don't want to learn programming languages, so that can be a barrier for beginners. They're like, "Oh, no. I don't want to learn this yet. Let me finish learning the other ones, right?" Because programming languages are like maths. You have to sit and learn, sit down, and many people they don't want to do that, right? So that can be a barrier. Yeah, Python now, not programming languages generally. Python can be slower than compiled languages like C++ and others. Yeah, in that list, Python can be slower, but then Python is not slow. Programming languages are generally faster than all the other ones we talked about. But then among the group, when you begin to compare Python to other low-level programming language, because Python is a high-level programming language, you are writing your code in more or less English. So it's harder for computer to process it fast because it's farther than computer's natural language, which is like binary and all of those. So just leave it at that. So then there's no built-in graphic user interface like Microsoft Excel, where you can press, see button, press button, see this one. Yeah, you have to write your codes with your hands. It's only IDs and like Jupyter notebooks that just make your work a bit easier, because now you actually interfere with an interface, not just that black and white screen. So that's for that on Python. So yeah, I've been able to run through data analysis, advantages, disadvantages, some of the softwares we use in data analysis, some types of data analytics, then other people in the data analytics field, right? Analysts, engineers, scientists, architects, and all of those. I've run through the process. How do we do it from beginning to the end? Why do we do it? How do we do it? Why do we do it? And how do we do it? Right? So it's been a long ride. So I'm stopping here for tonight. I don't know if we have questions, we have things we want to raise. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. That's why I'm here. So if you have confusions, you have anything you want to talk about, you have something that looks unclear, now is the time. I'm open to take your questions.
Good evening, Ayobami.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you. Your lecture is so fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So I didn't have any question for now, maybe subsequent one. I may likely ask.
Okay, thank you so much for the comments. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So for the other guys, please, I'm here to answer your questions. So no matter whatever it looks like. All right. So if you have any questions, just bring them up. That's why I'm here. Please, this class, I would not like you to be shy to speak out, speak to me, let me know what's on your mind. I feel that's the way we can get the best out of this class. You speak to me, I speak to you, we speak to each other. That way we get familiar with each other. And you are free to maybe come into my DM, say hello. That way you learn faster. So any other person, any comments, any questions? I'm about rounding
hello.
up. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate your contribution for tonight. Like, it was fantastic and brilliant.
Thank you very much.
I've always have a question in my mind. I don't know. It might not be the
Okay.
right time to ask, but I would like to ask.
Okay.
When you have a project, when you have a project, how can you know the tools, like a data analytics tools to use, either a Python, a SQL, or Tableau? You understand?
Okay, I get your question. Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much for the question. Thank you. You know, like I said, there are different kind of tools. A lot of them, I just mentioned those ones, they are very popular ones. So many companies are coming up and they are making different kind of tools. They are making different kind of integrated environments where you can work. Microsoft is coming up with Fabric. So many of those tools like that. But then what I feel is you have to look at, it depends on where you are. If you maybe are like on basic level, like I shared some basic tools that analysts use, like Excel and the other ones, and your data has not gone past that level, like your data is not bigger than that level, Excel is able to handle your data, and that you have access to it. Just use it and get your job done, right? But then if the job you have with you, maybe I don't know, that might not be the case in this level. But then if you have very big something to deal with that maybe it's beyond the scope of Excel might not be sufficient. There are so many other tools that are available to you. So just look at the size of the project you have. Is it something that the easier softwares can handle? Is it something that the easier programs can handle? Then you begin to work your way up. If it's not something Excel cannot handle it, okay, let me look at this next one. Let me look at this next one. Let me look at this next one. I already shared you a list of advantages and disadvantages. So you just have to know, okay, based on disadvantages of this one, which one would I be able to use? SQL, for instance, I said you can't use it to visualize data. It's really a database querying stuff. So you can use it to query databases, get everything you need, then take it back to Excel to now go and visualize. So it's not that only one, you can combine one with another, right? I my students combine they combine different softwares to get their job done. Sometimes Python with Power BI, sometimes maybe Python with Tableau, sometimes Excel with another one. So it's just not one way thing. If you feel like this one gives you something and that one gives you another thing, and you need both of them, you can combine two to still get what you want. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, guys, any other questions? I'll just take one last question or comment. If there is, then I'll say good night for tonight.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. So I would like to know which of those
Please,
tools
I
are
would
we
just like
going.
if you can introduce yourself. I think
Well,
you're not around when we started. Thank you.
all right, my name is Adisha to be based in
Okay.
Lagos.
Okay.
So I would like to ask which of the tools are we going to learn, and for what for how many weeks or months are we going to learn this? Are we going to go through this training?
Okay. Okay. So thank you for the question. I'm not a program manager, so I'm not able to answer that. But then, Mr. Banji. So as you can see, the coordinator of the group you guys were added, I think is the one that adds people to the group. So you can be able to reach out and ask these questions. I believe you'll be able to give an answer to that. So my own is as an instructor, when I'm being called to handle classes, I come up and I deliver, right?
No problem.
Thank you so much for your time tonight. I'm very glad to have you. I had 6 people, so I think 6 people said voted in the poll that they were going to be available, and I have all of you. So I'm really I'm glad to have you guys. Thank you so much. So for the next meeting, it's still the one that is going to reach out to you guys on when it will be and all of those, right? So thank you for coming tonight. God bless you. Have a great night rest, right? Good night.
I dropped a chat. Oh, he has left.
Okay, I'm still here. You said something.
I dropped a chat. Where can we expect the slide?
Okay, you need a slide. Okay, don't worry. That's not a problem. I'll get it across to you. You're on the group, right?
Yes, we are on the group. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're on the group, then you have no need to worry.
All
So
right.
yeah, have a good night rest.
Thank you so much.